Try AliExpress first, full stop. Alibaba tends to be more for wholesale, large scale purchases, full stop. Okay. Whoop, oh, hello, everybody. Alright. Hello. Tim, Eamon, Boris, Wadham, Travis, Barry, Wilco, Noel, Noel. Mr. Lockhart's here too. Crazy Joe, Greg, Steve Martin. Steve Martin, huh? That's a funny one. Right. Yes, odds and ends at the moment. Managed to get through the bulk. Looks like we've got bad internet tonight, by the way. Managed to get through the bulk of jobs, and now I'm in the situation where it's like, well, what crap do I need to clean up so that I've got enough slots for other stuff to come through? And the answer is a lot. Lots and lots and lots of crap. It's amazing how much I've just crammed into the walls. It's like the walls themselves are just layers of trash. So anyway, nothing too interesting. May have a couple of boards to work on. Still got to fix up the keyboard issue on Pedro's board, so we might attack that for a bit of fun and games. Have a laugh, as it were. Mr. Sharp, Soda, Margarita, Matthew. Alright, everybody's here. Yeah, broom swishing style. Alright, let's switch on to the overhead. Hey, Mr. Hook, how's it going? Ooh, I need to message my wife. Yeah, try AliExpress and see what their price is. So, can you bring me some water? Full stop. Question mark. That's not really the way. It should have been just question mark, not full stop. Oh well. People send me photos of things. I don't want photos. Alright, we got the data off this phone from the other night. So that's all good. Now I've got to put it all back together and ship it back. Even though it's not a functioning phone, I do still want it to actually be at least reasonably close to the state in which I received it. Maybe slightly better. I don't know. Very tempted to not connect that battery, in fact. Let's see. Hey, Harry Crawford. Yes, they are good for a good cheap laugh, especially because they didn't cost me anything other than my sanity, which I suppose isn't free. Okay, I can't believe I'm going to spend a minute or two on this. I'm not even hungry at this point. I just need some water. I've been in here for the last probably, I don't know, 3/4 of an hour, and I forgot to go get myself some extra water. Normally I bring a water bottle down, but I didn't this time, and I'm suffering for it. Oh, glad to see the camera's working. Stack the pieces and wrap them down. Yeah, well, I wouldn't mind doing that, Barry. Wouldn't mind. I forgot my glasses too. Can you also bring me my blue armed glasses, the thin ones that I use for the close-up work down here? Thank you. She is not going to see those messages until way after the fact. I'm going to have to just go up and deal with it myself, like a responsible, mature adult that I'm not. I just thought I'd try my luck and see if anything actually happens. Yeah, my bloomin' glasses. Wouldn't matter so much, except it really does make a difference now when I'm doing this sort of closer work. I was already forgot enough for the day, and it's and yeah, it was quite painful doing some work today. I was basically doing it blind. Once you get used to having the glasses, it's really quite difficult to go back from that. That's the only trouble with glasses. It's like, oh, you would like some glasses, would you? Well, here you go, have these ones. And then you're stuck with them for life. It's not that I've got particularly bad vision or anything like that, but yeah, I am. It's just normal age-related, distance, short close-up stuff. That's a problem. Oh, come on, I do enough other work. I shouldn't have to run upstairs to try and avoid my spare tire. Okay, shields. There's really no point putting the shields on. This phone is dead. I'm just gonna... Well, I shouldn't say dead, but it's certainly non-functional in a useful manner. And I've got no indication that she's even receiving these messages, which means she's probably head first into a book, which I suppose is respectable. Yes, the data was recovered on this one. Fortunately, it wasn't too tedious a process. You know, once I got the right passcode... Oh, crikey, mate. Slip on that. Yeah, once I got the right passcode, then everything was hunky-dory. It's amazing what a difference the correct passcode can make. It's like, wow, I can't believe you can actually get data once you got the passcode. It's like, yep, shock horror, mate. Shock horror. It's actually been a pretty good day for invoicing. Oh, probably one of the better days for invoicing, because all of a sudden all my jobs just happen to get finalised. So I'm very happy about that. Now I've got to wait for everybody to pay. That's the next fun thing. Yeah, Barry, no companies like to say that their data is recoverable, because it tends to lead to a lot of support issues. You know, people going, you said my data wasn't recoverable, or you said my data was recoverable, now you're telling me it's not recoverable. You lied to me. Yeah, it just opens up a can of worms. So that is stuck down with glue or something. I'm not going to get into that. So yeah, better just to say no, we can't recover it. The end. And that's it. And if other people can recover it, well, then more power to that person. You know, you can say, I can do what the big company can't, and the big company's like, yeah, whatever, we don't care. Hey, Palmero. Okay. Okay, so that one is ready to go back with its little USB stick of happiness. Dear God, success. Just throw that in the bin. Throw that in the bin. Screw of random parts. What are these? These look like... Oh, the 1466 or 1502. I can't quite tell. There is a difference. The 1466 and the 1502 differ on their... Oh, this must be 1466, because the 1502 does not have a long screw on it. Let's get the 1466 tray. Okay, Rustlin. That's better. Yeah, Steve. Okay, it's not bad vision. Just yeah, it just feels nicer to have them rather than not. I can work my way around on most of the jobs without the glasses, but I really do prefer it if I have them on hand. Rustin, thank you for the 39 rubles. You've been a bit of an excessive contributor lately, aren't you? You're going to have to make me start feeling guilty. Good job. Well done. Toshiba laptop screws, throw them in the trash. Yep. All those sort of things, throw it in the trash. You've already got 1,000 of them. Throw the rest in the trash. Hey, Combat Wombat, how's it going? Okay. Oh, by the way, I did end up soldering the heat exchange fins back onto the heat pipe. The one that we had separate last night with the RAM reflow process. And that machine is running just fine now. I did all the testing on it. Everything's good on it. So another happy day there. Okay, more heat pipes that I can poke a stick at. Then I can poke a stick at. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, let's see, where's my box of heat pipes? There we go. They're all pretty cool in there. And my shoelaces come undone. Some days I just seem to be constantly getting my own shoelace, and today is one of those days. I'll double knot it. That'll trick me when I trip up on it and fall flat on my face. The RAM soldering problem, yeah, that was as predicted. Okay, so what's the problem with Pedro's board? Pedro's board doesn't seem to want to see the keyboard. So we're all happy and dancing around like a bunch of elves the other night when we fixed this, but it turns out there was a more sinister dark force at play, and it said, "You shall not have a keyboard." So we'll see if that is still the case now, or whether somehow the magical elves have fixed it while I wasn't looking. Time for Velcro shoes. Well, at least you didn't say Crocs, so I'm going to give you props there for that. Props for not saying Crocs. Looks like I need a keyboard flex too. Is this the 1604? Yes it is. Is it damaged? No it's not. Okay, we can use that one. This is my well abused 1466 assembly. Very well abused. Hey Andrew Hughes. Hello Mr. Divers. Mother flip's sake. That was my fingernail that just bent backwards. That hurts. Hey DJ. ZX. Ah, g'day AJ. Yeah, I was sad to see Toshiba leave the market. I thought they did have some good high-end laptops, but I guess they sort of got outcompeted by Lenovo in the quality market, and of course Sony has got the oddity market. Okay, let's see. I think that's pretty much all we need to really care about at this point. I suppose it'd be too much to ask for a bottom tray. Probably. Ugh, my voice is going because I have no water. Okay. I've got to go and get water and my glasses, so I do apologise, but I'm going to be right back. And I'll also take a moment to complain to the owner of the house, as in, well, the mistress of the house, about the lack of service. Alright, we're back. Extensive arguing has resulted in the conclusion that it's all my own fault, so I guess I can't argue with that. I got the water, already feeling a bit parched again, but not so bad. But more importantly, I've got my glasses. Hey Tony, Keith, oh go, Pernov. By the way, thanks very much Pernov for pushing through or merging that PR. Appreciate that. Okie doke. That's right, I was after a bottom tray, wasn't I? All I want is a 1466 tray. 1278. What's the bit? All I'm going to find is 1278s right now. Yeah, you look 1278-ish. You're definitely 1278. Where'd I put all the 1466 ones? Not even close. Oh, you're so funny. How can I be out of 1466? You look 1466-ish. Yep, 1466. Right, the reason why I want that is because I want to be able to do this. So I can do, oh dear God, I think we should clean that. That's pretty damn disgusting. She put me in a headlock. Oh no, she did worse. She did worse than that. Things I cannot describe lest you all cry out in horror as if a million souls were destroyed. Like, okay. A lot of alcohol now vaporizing. Would you be able to work in a very comfortable chair or a mid-level comfort chair? I don't really have a problem with chairs being comfortable. I do prefer a comfortable chair. I know some people do prefer less comfortable chairs. It sort of compels them to, I don't know, work harder or something like that. But that doesn't seem to work with me. This is my own screen, but yeah, it doesn't hurt to make it at least look reasonably nice. I'll do. It's my channel. Hey, 10-minute 10-minute tech today. Kind of surprised Pedro's not here, but maybe he had other things to deal with. Stick in the stick. Change the MagSafe. We're not using the MagSafe 1 right now. We want MagSafe 2. Ooh, static fill. Hold down the option and hope. Barry, this supposedly works except for keyboard. At least the last I checked anyway. Yeah, see the fact it's not bringing up the boot options. And we don't have a cap lock select, so we don't even have power going to it. That's actually interesting. This is a 165 board. And we know it's booting because we heard it bong and it's finally followed through to the default. Well, it can't find anything else, so it's booting from this stick here. Hey creature, how's it going? Nihil drops in here occasionally. Hey, it did... Oh, I'm an idiot, I moved my cable. I gotta say, the only downside with this MagSafe cable assembly is that the banana plugs are a little bit... They're not the greatest. They do seem to have a little bit of a slop, or maybe they just don't really like plugging into the Hirschman plugs so much. But yeah, if I move it around a bit too much, then I create my own problems. I think my wife would be agreeing again. Ha! Creature, my cats are doing that at the moment too. I don't know why I'm holding that button down. Have it, I guess. But at least we know it's alive, you know, it's blinking. Oh, my 17-inch mod chips arrived today from CMI Zapper dude, Harold. So I was able to get another one of those jobs out of the way. I don't get the 17 inches so often, but the 15 inches I've got a fair few of. It's nice to now have a hardware solution for that problem that you just sort of solder on and away it goes. Hey, Andre. Yeah, so no power at all to the keyboard. That's interesting. You have no power over... Oh, you know, It might not be power, it just could be a case of it's not toggling the status. Come on. Yeah. Nada. Nada, nix, nada. So it could be the SPI lines, it could be the SMC, we don't know. So, yeah. Let's see, interesting if the power button works. Power button works, alright. So we know we're getting power to the power keyboard. So we've either got SPI or SMC. Pedro just couldn't let it be a simple fault, could he now? Coffee in the keyboard. Not this time. This is a good known chassis, so I know it's not its fault. I really need to get a better camera for up here. It's pretty bad how I can't keep it at the right sort of brightness level. Okay. Oh, stupid thing. Okay, first thing we'll do is check all those keyboard resistor resistances, make sure they're in good. Let's see, function, resistor, 50k, high speed. Ew, hairy bits on my... Ow! Alright, note to self, when you sharpen probe tips, they're sharp. Okay, 32, that's good enough. We want 33 on these. 32, yep. 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 I'm not sure, I think this one's meant to be a 0 or... Crikey, just scratch the hell out of that. That makes me feel like that's not right. Let's see, that's R4860. It's supposed to be 100k. Okay, so that's why. Range 500k. Let's see if it comes good now. Okay, it's good. 100k. Hey Wayne Taylor, been a couple of days. How you going? How's that heart going? Let's see what the middle one is. That's okay, that should also be a 0. Close enough. Still pumping? That's good to know. Can't work out if that's a defect in that cap or what. That's C4835. SMC lid. Okay, so that's not going to be a problem. That's not playing any part of this particular issue. Let's have a look at some Shonky Town SMC area. Rustlin, need to send 30 kilos of stuffed boxes literature from Australia. Where can I find prices of sending overseas by sea? Post office website, yeah, but they're going to be pretty expensive. What about, I think it's, what is it, Amtrak or something like that? That seem to be the new up and coming people for reasonable freight pricing. Hey, Vladimir, it's been a while. How's the handtech? I don't know. I haven't touched it since yesterday. I know it's not very geeky of me to just get a piece of cool equipment like that and then go, yeah, I'll get to it when I get to it. There's a bit of corrosion hanging out under there. Pretty sure it's Wi-Fi or something though. Yeah, most people would be like, you gotta try it, you gotta play with this. It's like, I'll get to it. Okay, they're all sus switches and things like that. Yeah, Nick, you're probably right about that. It probably doesn't help that it's not a hobby of mine doing this sort of work. It's just a job. No, I don't mean to sound um, lacking in passion for my job. I do like my job. But I guess what I'm saying is that it doesn't. There are other things I'd rather be doing than randomly playing with such toys. And they're not toys. To me, they're tools. And so when I actually need it, whoops, then at that point I will bring it out and start playing around with it and trying to work out what's going on. Okay, that's just flux. So wasn't that corrosion on those resistors? Are they? But they're nothing related to keyboard. Yeah, my job is bread and butter, and I'd rather not burn myself out excessively applying. I mean, I'm already bad enough as it is. Just ask a leader, and she will tell you that I spend far too much time working. But yeah, the people sending me bills spend far too much time sending me bills. So what am I going to do? Let's see. 5390, 5391. Okay, so we're just going to check these two resistors here. They're the resistors for the pull-ups on the keyboard and the trackpad. Why is there a chip missing? What? Chip? Which chip? I don't remember any chip missing. If a chip could be chip. Okay, 2K is good. 2K is good. Looks like someone tried to read off the chip. I don't know which chip you're talking about, creature, I'm afraid. I'm sorry. Well, it could be SMC, and I bet you're all just hankering for me to do an SMC, aren't you? Can't help yourselves. You're a bunch of wild animals. Like, yeah. Take me to the chip. Take me to the SMC reball. That's what we want. Yeah. Yeah, I know that pad's corroded out, but in this particular case, unlike last night's case, that's not going to really matter. Last night's case was different because, or was it the night before? Either way. It was different because it actually broke the trace between where there was active parts and the veer. Large chip glued down the board as a chunk missing. Oh no, no, that's you're talking about this one? There's no chunk missing, it's just flux. Anyway, that's our SMC and that's got to come off and be replaced probably. So you get to see the fun and games regardless. Ah, no. Now I've got an itchy nose. Ah, crikey, mate. Alright. Time to do the SMC because I'm too lazy to think of other ways that it could be at fault. And besides, the audience demands it. $250. A spot of flux with cat hair on it, of course, naturally, or carpet fibres most likely. Hey Chris, how's it going? Yeah, we're just doing 250. I've got about a, I'm going to say a 30% chance that this actually is the SMC at fault. I don't have the greatest of confidence in this situation. But I'm doing it for entertainment value, so I hope you all appreciate that. And I do love using my Grim Reaper. Except when it tears up boards, then I'm not so happy with it. Steve K, what problem do you see? AJ, yeah, I use paste like I had to do a 820 00840 board the other day, and I used paste for that. That was an SMC, but it was a smaller chip. And I don't think Jess is doing SMCs, like this size SMC, with paste. Or does she do any? I just find I get more consistent results using balls when it's on larger chips like this. There's a hair under the board shortening out. Ha! Yeah. Okay, let's get this one off. Oh, why is there so much junk on everything? I'm really going to look forward to having a clean room one day. It's probably never going to happen. Okay, if you're wondering what this is, it's hot glue. Because on the 17-inch 1297s, you got to route a bunch of wires for the mod chip, for the graphics, the GPU killer. Unlike, and I'm using that 10 thou enameled copper, and I just find it easier to hot glue it down in certain places so that it stops moving around. Alright, here we go, finally. Yeah, I mean, with a lot of the chips that Jessa does, like the Mason, Chestnut, all those sort of things, the pitch is significantly smaller, the balls are significantly smaller, and yeah, I mean, I use paste all the time for those. This is the only chip that I use balls for. Everything else. And I mean, I was doing pretty good with paste with these for a long time. I just found that balls gave me a more consistent outcome. Why are you taking so long to come off? Well, it sure doesn't look damaged or anything. Audio breaking up. Is the audio okay now? Intermittent. Ah, bugger. No, creature, you don't need to use. Don't need to use a heat plate for these. Just changing tips. I've been trying to get a replacement microphone, headset and everything like that, but with the COVID-19, everyone doing home studio, home everything, I cannot get stock of a replacement one of these XDP systems. I should have bought two when I originally got them. Anyway, big ball of solder. Just swim it over. It's possible the battery was flat, though it was showing up as being okay, but that doesn't mean anything. I changed the batteries on it. Ah! Now, forgotten passwords are the bane of most IT persons' existences, Wayne. Greg, rather. Looks good enough. This is a 165. I'll see if I've got any pre-existing pooled 165s. Actually, no, I won't have. Realise I ran through a great shortage of them at one point and I used up all of my available stock. Oh, sorry. I wasn't expecting that to come racing out of my throat. Short of PCH, okay. Looks like this has already been replaced, but we'll give it a shot. It's only a Pedro board. I remember this board was a real weird one because I tested it for several days before sending it back to the customer. And it got to the customer and all of a sudden it developed this impressive short. And I was like, wow. And unfortunately, they thought I was just dodgy, but it was like, no, seriously, this stuff doesn't get out of here without being tested a lot. It's actually a bit of a problem I have, is that I spend too much time holding on to jobs, testing them, testing them, testing them, and people are like, well, just send it to us already. And it's like, but I haven't tested it enough. I don't know if it's going to be good or bad. Okay, time to get our tray, our dentist tray of SMC medical work. You're too small. This is the one. No, I still don't have flux from Rossmann. That would be an unheard of thing for that to have arrived. It might help if I actually order some though. But I wasn't going to order any because he said he would send me some, so I was like, alright. But I should know better. The guy is, flat out with his life and work. I can't expect him to send me anything. I really just have to order it. And if I am lucky enough, or if it so happens that he happens to see the order before it gets shipped out, he may then, respond to it. But I'll just have to assume that nothing's going to happen unless I make it happen. And I mean, that's fair. The guy is running $1 million business. He's not going to stop and do me special favors. And we all dream how nice it would be if he could, but we've got to be realistic about that. Maybe once a year it might happen if I'm lucky, but yeah, I'm not that kind of lucky guy. I used to make my own flux, yeah. But I gotta admit that this 559 stuff, I'm pretty happy with it. I am definitely better off just using this stuff than trying to make my own anymore. Okay, I'm a little worried about some of the edges there, looking fractionally like they could be beginning to delaminate. But we'll see. So we're gonna do our 2 corners for the balls. Ball left, middle, left side. It should be okay. It's in the groove. It's not going to matter. Besides, I kind of need some balls to pick up and use here. Oh, yeah. 460 and 110 is not good. 390 and 11's more like it. That was my bad there. I was trying to use full board. Ow, crikey, that still hurts. Okay, that's one done. And so we've only got about 100 to go now. Creature's thinking, what the hell, you're mad. It's alright, creature, I'm not really going to do it that way. Just got to get my stencil. Yeah, I see Lewis is... Well, he hasn't so much got a new ordering system, but he's finally got the shipping integrated with the existing system. Or are you meaning there really is a new shopping experience now? Did they get hacked again? The creature knows his stuff. He knew I was just doing this for alignment. But it was fun to see whether you'd fall for that, but I should have known better. You're far too switched on for that sort of trick. You redid the website. Alright, I'll have to go and have a look at that then. Does it have a VIP section now? Oops, that's a few too many balls. Looks good. Got one ball up the top right there that's going to be a silly bugger on me. Should be good. No, the balls are not magnetic. Heyo, Hannah's World. Okay, so here we go. Well, that wasn't exactly how I wanted it to come off, but... Okay, so we've got two balls that actually... That's very unusual. Normally I do not have that problem. Now, let's see if I can not botch this up. That's where I botched it up. See that? That just got absorbed while I was focusing on that one. That ball does not want to stick. And I cannot see any compelling reason why. I'll worry about that doubled up ball later. Okay, now it's stuck down. Now this double ball, easiest way is to just suck it up the soldering iron and put two down in its place. If you try to squish that around, it will just inevitably run into another one. Like that almost did. Don't normally have to do this. Must be because Creature's here. It is definitely fun in games trying to not botch this up. Okay, that one's gone. Balls everywhere, but not where I want them. get my nice little tweezer tip thing. There we go. Put some flux down and that should come good now. Don't normally have to fabricate them like that, but oh well, there you go, straight away, all good. Michael-chan, ni hao. So it's a very consistent outcome. I'm doing well. I managed to get a whole selection of jobs packed up, ready to go once people pay me. Naturally, they don't go out the door until I get paid. If you send jobs out the door before you're paid, that's just inviting trouble. Put our little tray back. So this is the original one over here. We're not throwing that out yet because if this ends up not fixing the fault, then we know that it's not actually the SMC at fault, or theoretically not at fault. You can still get tricked. You can end up 2 dud SMCs, but the chances of 2 SMCs having the same fault, as in keyboard issue, is relatively minor. So just giving it a bit of a scrub down. Chris, that's only because you know where I live. From a complete pure business perspective, it's a bad idea to do it though. Even amongst friends, in fact definitely amongst friends, because half the time you just sort of go, oh, it's okay, it's just my friend, and yeah, I don't have to worry too much, they're cool, they're happy for me to pay it when I can. Meanwhile, the poor friend's probably fretting, thinking, oh my god, I need that money, but I can't ask my friend to pay me that because he's my friend and he'll think I'm being pushy, and oh god, our relationship is ruined now. So yeah, when it comes to friends, maybe it is actually better to be sure it's paid before sending out. You can't tell me you don't know what I'm talking about. You ever notice that wherever you first plonk the SMC is almost always where it should be, and then you fiddle with it and you get it wrong? It's just the way it goes. Okay, back up to full Mac power. What's the XDP one worth? Usually around about 100, 120 bucks. There's also the XDP2. I'm fine with either of them, but I just can't source them at the moment. I've tried a lot of different places, but no one's got stock. Everybody's got back order. So if you can get me a link to someone who has stock with reasonable shipping costs, then yeah, I'll grab one. Because they're not, in terms of fidelity, they're not the world's best. They're not, one of the Lewis Rossman type ones. But in terms of dependability, acceptable audio quality, ease of use, then yeah, they win pretty good for me. Come on SMC, you're gonna drop or what? Well, that was a violent drop. And now you dance, my little friend, now you dance. Friends are the worst customers. They certainly can be, yeah. Yeah, creature. Well, I mean, yeah, they've taken all the part identification and everything, but it would be nice if they just had at least one keying mark there. That would be nice, but you get used to it. And that looks like a perfectly good reball to me. You definitely get used to it. Just put it in the cooling system. Last time I told a friend to take their time for the job, it didn't get it back for 2 years later. Yeah, precisely. It's such a difficult process. Hey, Englishman. So yeah, often the best thing to do when it comes to friendships is to treat it like they're not friends at all. If you do, for whatever reason, happen to ship something out before the client has paid, don't tell them. Just, if it's going to be some sort of surprise thing like that, just don't tell them and make some noises trying to urge them to pay up in the meantime while your package is on its way. But the moment you tell them, you basically disenchant them, or you basically have given them a free pass to be really slow on paying you. It's the way it goes. It's not a malicious thing, it's just how it happens. It's like when people prepay me for a job, it is the worst thing in the world to do. If you prepay me for a job, say a screen replacement on a phone or something like that, it is, for whatever reason, quite painful for me to do it. Because there's no compulsion. It's like, well, I've got the money. What do I want to do anything else now? I've got the money. I'm going to go to another job where I don't have the money. So, and I know customers are actually trying to be very nice and understanding. They're like, say, look, I know a lot of people probably don't pay you quick enough, so here's the money in advance. And I'm like, don't do that to me. You do that to me and you'll kill my spirit of wanting to do the job. It's just a weird phenomena. Actually, it's not that weird. It's pretty damn obvious. It's pretty damn clear why it happens. Yeah, disenfranchises you. Okay. Let's see. Get our dependable boot stick. We'll plug in our chipmunk because, hey, why not? It's always good to have a chipmunk. Checking that everything's okay. Particularly that these sticks do not have any status or power indications on them. Well, we've got a bong, so if we didn't kill it, it's a good start. Ooh, we're still not getting... Okay, this is really turning into an interesting one. We're still not getting boot options. That's right, Michael John. Lack of motivation. Yep. No Rutten keyboard. What is going on here? Okay, so we've changed the SMC. The NVRAM, like, won't even be able to do that because it won't let me even do the keyboard or anything. Just trying to think what else I've missed. We know the on-off power works, so SMC on-off L works, which means we know we're getting 3V42 probably in here. Yep, no keyboard. Arnold G, this is a known working deck and known working flex and all that stuff. It's all known working. Thank you, Joseph King. So there's something else at play here. Now, the fact that I can't bring it out Oh, the fact is that I've got more interesting things to do right now, which includes eating. No eating here tonight. Right, I've got to remember to put down my... You okay? You looked a bit... Sorry? Your eye. You need to scratch your eye, and I'm taking forever to do my stuff, eh? Thank you. Yeah. And, oh, can I drink of any sort? Water is fine. Yeah, water. Yep. Looks like I'm gonna get fat. Super fat. Supersize me. It could be the socket. Yeah, Vladimir, it could be the socket. We'll have to have a look at that. Hmm. No, this will take a few weeks to get through. Oh, Catherine, you're Swiss. I didn't realise that. Yeah, I spent a little bit of time there in Switzerland, in Zurich. Ah, I dropped food. I hate that. I mean that. Oh, thank you so much. Everything okay up there? That's good. Yeah, it's a gift from the fur babies. I didn't toast. Well, the bacon is toasted though. Doesn't that count? Mm. See, the difference between chocolate and ice cream is I can eat a big bowl of ice cream, and I can do that every night. With chocolate, I'll be lucky if I eat one triangle of this stuff. AJ, if you want to get boards to practice on, you probably need to get a machine. So if you start looking around for 1278 machines, yeah, usually 1278s, try to get something 2012 or sooner. Certainly no older than 2010, and work from that. Because if you do get the boards on their own, they're either being butchered or they haven't even been repaired properly anyway. So yeah, try get a whole machine. 1278 probably a good start. Now, Robert, I'm just trying to help everybody eat. Yeah, Lita puts a lot of care into my food. I can tell if she's been in a bad mood. Not necessarily at me, but when she makes the food. Particularly if it's a meal that she would make regularly. And you can always tell if something's been going amiss up in the kitchen. My preference for chocolate is typically around about 70% or more. 70% is a nice sort of sweet spot. This is a little sweet for me, but I'll have a small amount. 85 is probably about my limit. I have had some 90 and 99% chocolate, but I do find for daily consumption that, yeah, 70% is about best for me. Huh, Keith, so you're going to have to go make your missus a BLT? I tend to agree to a point, Sotterbridge. I think certainly the market is, we've probably hit peak sort of market with the MacBooks. I think anything from say 2010 up to 2015, that was the real good market, particularly the 1466s, 1502, 1398s, that sort of thing. They were an excellent run of repairs. It's going to get more difficult now. I still think we're always going to have the ability to do repairs, but certainly the spread of repairs that we can do will be reduced. But the option will still be there. I mean, the T2 is not going to chuck a fit if you have to replace a cap or a resistor or things like that, or fix a trace. Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you're dealing with data recovery, if you got anything to the T2 or any of the more advanced chips, sure you're going to run into issues. But, there's still going to be options for us. And I mean, most of us should already be looking now for other markets that we can move into, because maybe in another 3 years, the bulk of the money making type quick jobs are likely going to be gone. But it was a good run, 5 years, 6 years worth of repairs at good pricing, good margins. Definitely a good run. I want to drink this water, but I know if I have this chocolate, and if I consumed all the water, then it's going to be to my own demise. I'm assuming everybody knows about the bear in the mountain. It's not just some random mountain face, there's an actual bear in there. There's a bear in there, and a story to tell. Sorry, Australians will know that tune. It's already melting a bit. Summer's approaching. Sorry, if the leader's watching, the season in fall at the moment. Because Halloween's approaching, so it must be fall. Hmm. The Arnold G1, the Fifth Element stones. Well, it's not too much of a teeth breaker. I do like the nougat bits in it. Oh, Tony, don't say that. Under normal circumstances, I would lick my fingers, but given that I'm working in this workshop, I would prefer not to. The risk is minimal, but I prefer not to take that risk. Hmm. I've got till the 30th of June next year. Look. 360 grams. Almost a pound of chocolate. Not a singing diva, no, most certainly am not, thank goodness. Alright, let's see. I had issues with the GBD256 BIOS chip. Verify fails. I can't remember. Right. Very glad I saved that water. If I had not, I would be upset right now. And I'd be messaging Alita. And she'd be doing this to me. She'd be like, oh, why? Why weren't you responsible, husband? Why didn't you leave a little bit of water that you knew you would have to have after your chunk of chocolate? Why do you have to be such a doofus husband? She loves me. She does, I'm sure. Yeah. Nothing to do with the fact that we're in a small town and just options aren't really around. And I just got lucky. I only say that because I broke the edge of a tooth biting down some naan bread. How do you break a tooth on naan bread? Did you get a crispy bit of naan bread that'd been sitting on the edge of the cooking tunnel? Because naan bread's supposed to be nice and soft. So much for that. None teeth left. That was actually funny. IPA solves the chocolate. No. Alright, let's have a look at that connector. Because we now have got a bit of a mystery on our hands. Yeah, it'll be very stale on bread. Very stale. And I will say on first impressions, that's a perfectly clean looking... Okay, look at it from the other side. No, I would have a hard time ever saying that that was a bad keyboard connector. So what are we missing here? Something's not quite right. I guess we'll check the continuity of the SPI lines over to the SMC area, things like that. Chip on the right side looks damaged corner. Are you talking about this one, the diode? I mean, you're right, it does. It has been catching my attention a little bit. Okay. Q4860. Oh, sorry, my apologies. It's a MOSFET. I was thinking it was a diode. Trackpad, SPI, CS connection L. Okay, that looks like a level switcher. Won't be able to find it with the thermal cam because it's not actually drawing any real power. You have no power. Well, one trick we can try is the "Are you a broken resistor" trick. And we just go along and use our micro pencil, touch up all the end caps, and see if any of them fall apart like a cheap, nasty filling that's been attacked by naan bread. Nick469 won't be doing that right now. I'm still working on that. It's on my machine upstairs, but not on this machine because I use this machine. Alita put catnip on my... that would be... it's already bad enough how much I get attacked by the cats in the middle of the night. So what is that filter for? 4820. I should check that that's got continuity. And that's got continuity, alright. I was thinking maybe we get lucky and perhaps at some point a bad keyboard was put on there and it took that out, but no such luck. Okay, now we're getting scummy solder building up on the tip. To be fair, it's not really scummy solder, it's just a case of a lot of oxidized bits and pieces start getting onto the tip. What the hell is... oh, it must be the jelly, that's what it is. U4810. Really, at this point, what we're going to do is simply just radiate outwards. So we test. If it doesn't work, we'll take a broader section of parts. This is definitely the mindless repair process, rather than using the brain and tracking things down. Sometimes it's faster to do mindless repairs, sometimes it's faster to use your brains. There really isn't a hard and fast rule on that stuff. Ideally, the quickest way I can probably tell is to see if the cap locks comes on. But we'll also keep plugging this in. Hey Paul, you can't blame me for that. You are your own responsible adult. I don't know if I heard a bong or not. It is active, I can see the screen's active. But I don't think this is running either in terms of the keyboard's not running. Yep, no green light on the keyboard. I'll just see if there is any... Okay, that's great. I'll see if... Oh, flippity flip. Damn, MagSafe came out. I'm gonna see if there are any voltages on the keyboard connector that seem right or wrong. Cat hair. Voltage mode. 50 millivolts is a bit low. 5 volt would be about right. Okay, pin 19, which is the second one in. We should have 342, so it's quite possible we're not getting 342 up here. It sounds a bit silly, but it's quite possible. Okay, we do have 3. Hey! You want a piece of chocolate? It's right there.
Do you need water?
You can give me a little more water. Yeah, it's down there too. So, you're way out of frame. So, yeah, I'm just checking this. And yeah, the chocolate. Oh, while I'm in the process of stick it right on the corner. Yeah, that's awesome.
Because you don't want to have an accident.
No.
Is that enough water for you?
Sorry?
Is that enough water for you?
Oh yeah, that's heaps. Thank you. Thank you for the chocolate.
Pretty sweet.
Sorry?
Pretty sweet, but...
Alright, so we do have 342. Trying to think of what else. Pin 15 maybe. Pin 15 is trackpad USB interface enable connect. I'm pushing my luck here. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 15 there. 3.3, it's enabled. Pin 10 is my next one, that's 3v3s4 IPD. Man, I gotta count to 10, that's hard. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, is that actually missing the pad? 196. Okay, we got something here maybe. That should be 3v3, and we've actually got 196. And now that I look at it, it feels funny when I put my probe on it, like it's got a dip in it. Oh no, it's just the way the pad's cut. Now 196 volts is kind of weird. Okay, someone wants a wiggle test. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Yeah, 196. That's not a voltage I would expect on there. At least I don't think so. Not reflowing squat. Okay, so that's this pin here. So I would expect 3v3 on there. Let's see, let's check the network. Okay, 3v3. Let's check where else it is. Well, where do you go to? Trying to maximize. 3v3, you go up here to 3v3 S4. Okay, 4830. Let's find out where that resistor is. Oh, naturally it's on the other side. Son of a gun. Alright, what I'm going to do is check to see. I'm going to find another point that's this 3v3 S4. Oh, great. So it's there or on the goddamn Wi-Fi. Ah, it's got to be on the other side. Son of a gun. It's always the way. Yeah, there's no convenient resistor for me to use to pick that up on the side that I'm on. Oh wait, what about 4800? Again, other side. Damn it. Wait, there might be a test pad there. No, that is pin 10. There's other than pin 10, there's nothing. How annoying. Well, at least we've got something of a start. You know, where the voltage doesn't seem quite right. It may be okay, but I don't know. At this point, it seems like that is out of spec from what I would expect. Let's see if it does that even with the keyboard disconnected. Hopefully I did count the right pin numbers, but I'm pretty sure I did. Then again, pretty sure and did can often be a big difference. I'm just going to see now what happens with this. Where's that bit of green over there? Why is... Oh, that's that damned marker that someone used. Anyway. So it's this pin here. We're up to 3 volts now. That's funny. That's distressing. Because I've been using this deck for a lot of jobs and I've not encountered issues with it. No, the flex is fine. Okay, I'll get yet another deck and see what happens. And if it turns out to be the deck, well then I'll just have to eat some Toblerone. What are you? Oh, you're an 11-inch. Oh, that's right, you're the 11-inch that I... Yeah, fun. Oh god, the pain. Okay, what are you? I don't want to use you. You already... I don't want to make another disassembled machine around here. Got enough of those. Somewhere in this workshop is definitely another 1466 that is split open enough that I can use it. Yes, here we go. Tester number 2. Oh well, it doesn't matter that you couldn't see that because quite frankly it didn't make a damn bit of difference. Alright, so we have tester number 2. This is a completely different setup. This is also a known good working. That is, admittingly, this one has not had as much work done with it. This is just more of a board that I don't remember where I sourced it from. No idea. Okay, I'm going to use this flex, and then if it fails again, I'll try another flex. I wonder what the chances are. Oh, now I remember, this shows it's got a dent in it. Yeah, that's right. Should have booted it up by now. Kind of. Alright, this MagSafe is starting to annoy me a little bit. Because of the nature of it being very. It's got a lot of meat around it on the plastic. It is starting to periodically get in my face in a bad way. Maybe I just need to learn to use it better. Oh, you can see it's. Yeah. Alright, that's not coming up. It will eventually come up Apple logo though. Yeah, okay, so keyboard not active. And, yep, no cap locks. So pretty much leaves the flex of the board. So let's go back to, we'll swap the flex. Oh. Pardon me. That was a bit of that delicious dinner just reminding me that I ate it. Okay, brand new flexes. Yeah, it's possible the flex cable has finally just given up, because they do sit at a bit of a, they've got a bit of a Z angle, double Z on them, or single Z rather. So it is possible that with all the insertions and removals that it finally just said, that's it. Had enough of this, I'm fatigued, I want to go home. I'm done with this job. And it just gave up, and it just so happened to be that it was Pedro's board that I happened on. And then when I moved to the next boards that I was testing, it could be that it just happened to connect enough, and so on and so forth. And people say that doesn't seem very realistic, but It really is in the workshop very common for these sort of horrible coincidences to happen and make your life a living hell. I mean, look at the 1708 that I was dealing with. That was just a unbelievable cascade of coincidences that I wouldn't believe. If someone told me that, I'd be like, yeah, you're just making up crap to get sob story out. It still doesn't. No, it looks like it is the board. Okay, if that's the case, it makes it a little more complicated for us. Yeah, yummy steak. I did not appreciate that board one bit. Okay, so again, the keyboard still doesn't work. So the flex is fine, the deck is fine. It is something with the board, but it's not a very simple fault. It's something. It's very interesting because the voltage doesn't drop until it is actually connected. Rustlin, this is a completely different deck. So this is a different keyboard, different flex, everything. It's different touchpad. Is it still low on this flex? Good point, yes. Good point. I have a feeling it's going to still be 197 or whatever it was. Thank you for reminding me to check that. Too busy trying to entertain people, forgetting to check what's important. That is my bank balance. And yep, it's low on this one too. What I might do, I don't know if this is going to work, but I might actually infrared cam this one. If it's dropping 1 volt, it may just be heating up something on there enough for me to spot it. Probably not, but everybody loves an excuse for bringing out the infrared camera, right? Not like that we need an excuse. I mean, it's an infrared camera. It's always fun. Right, I need to get that magnet out of the way. That's going to make the board think it's a 1708 and just randomly switch off on me. That 1708 is definitely going down as one of my more painful repair jobs in a long time. Run a wire from solid 3 volt to pin. I'm not going to do that. Sounds like a surefire way of completely meddling up things. The other possibility is that R4830 is faulty, or C4800 is slightly faulty. Like if we go to schematic, either of these two components here could be dodgy. I just realized we're not going to see diddly squat because it's on the other side of the board. Crap. Oh well. Alright, let's get the FLIR on anyway. The FLIR is not going to show us anything much now that I think about it, because the parts that we're interested in are not on this side of the board. Interesting, the Wi-Fi is getting really hot. Okay, infrared. Yeah, I don't know why the Wi-Fi is getting real hot. Unfortunately, nothing in this region really seems to be doing anything, and nothing over here. What I was kind of hoping to see is if there was any heat up on the traces in the flex, which does happen. A good example of that is if you want to get some real hot action on a flex, reverse the flex in a 1534, and that thing will burn up. Hey, Warren Stamps. No, anyway, so Wi-Fi's, that means diddly squat to us. Interesting that the Wi-Fi is hotter than the CPU. That is actually very interesting. Mind you, it's not saying much. It's only probably around about 45. And now the camera, because I moved the cable around, has decided it's having a bad day now. And you see Pedro's name written on the board. Come on. Don't give up on me now, Fleur. Didn't you show for that it is linked with the Wi-Fi? I don't think so. I think I was more looking at certain parts where there was a little bit of corrosion. I said, oh, that's nothing to do with the keyboard because it is Wi-Fi, that one. Let's see if I can bring up that camera again. There we go. Crikey, we don't want to see that. Paul's hairy legs and shoe and... Alright, none of that business, please. Good thing I got pants on. Phew, that was a close call. Anyway, so yeah, nothing really to show for this. I'm sorry. I know everybody loves the infrared, but not today. So at this point, I would initially replace the resistor and the capacitor on that line, on the basis of thinking maybe even though it's registering 0 ohms or close to 0 ohms on that resistor, it could be some quirkiness in there, and as soon as current starts passing over it, it develops another personality. Nobody likes a tease. And that's, I'm pretty sure it's those two. Yeah, it is those two. Just verify that they are in fact 0 ohms at that point. That's voltage pole. That's kind of weird. Alright, that works. Let me try that again. Jab it, and jab it. And now all of a sudden I'm getting... That ain't right. Something's gone wrong. Either the resistor's finally given up, or my multimeter's given up. At this point I'll call it 50-50. Come on, rotate off, you bastard. And your pretty cap too. There we go. Okay, let's see how we go now. I'm getting overload. Interesting. When I say overload, I mean over limit. Let's just verify. We'll pick one of these that you can't see. These should be 33. Yep. Range 500 ohms. Let's see if it picks it up at the 500 ohms. I'm still getting used to the native behavior, the behavior of this meter. Still overload. So it's trying to tell me. Okay, range auto. Let's see what happens now. It's going to tell me it's several megs now. There we go. There's our problem. That resistor's blown. Fun. That's the resistor that someone was telling me to check the other night when we had the other fault. What was that? And it wasn't that, but yeah. Now the reason why it was only dropping about 1 volt is there's perhaps only an infinitesimally small amount of current being passed over it because it was such a high resistance. There you go. Trying to think, what was the fault that I had the other night? I forget now. It was something completely unexpected. Oh, that's right. It was the break in the trace. That's right. Yeah, the trace break. Oh, what's going on here? Loki peed on my door. Fantastic. Loki expressing his displeasure for the fact that his daddy's not downstairs entertaining him. But to be fair, Loki is not really my child. Loki is Alita's child. Squarky, as we used to originally call him. And he's a really good snuggle cat. He's definitely what you'd call like a what do you call it? Emotional support cat. He really is. But with me, not so much. He's just more of a whatever, Dad. Just give me food. I'm gonna squawk and I'm gonna call Mum. So I do have some cats that prefer me. Mia is definitely one that calls me all the time. Well, she jumps on my chair. She claims we have a strange relationship. Micro is also Alita's boy, but these days, since the new additions and because of Micro's diabetic situation, he's kind of halfway in between now. He's come to perhaps somewhat disrespect me now because of the fact that I've got to jab him every day. It's funny how your relationship with your cats can chop and change, just like with people. Well, that's really not straight. There we go. Okie dokie, so we didn't have to do the damn SMC, but on the upside, we know that we have a working SMC for 165, so best be sure to mark that before I lose it. The only thing is it's not reballed. Kind of wonder whether I should do that now or whether I should, to make my future self happy about me. 00165 SMC likely working. Certainly as much chance as any given donor board is going to give you. At least we know it was working. Okay. I'm surprised we didn't check that resistor. Don't know what was wrong with me. Give micro a treat after each injection. We do sometimes. We don't want to make it every time, but we do. Sometimes the injection just gets him in the wrong spot, makes him a little bit upset. It doesn't happen that often, but every now and then we'll give him a treat. I don't want them to expect it each time because otherwise they'll probably just negate the trying to negate the health benefits we're trying to give him. Where's my crossflex? Ach nee man, where's my crossflex? Okay, fingers crossed. We'll turn off the overhead. Well, look at that bong. Yep, we're working. So that's what it was that resistor. All parts work all the time, even after damage. They've just simply changed what kind of part they are. When capacitors decide to become shorted, that's just what the new part they are. They're now a zero ohm resistor. So it's not that they're faulty, they've just simply changed their role in this world. Looks like I need to update my multimeter software so that it actually says over range rather than zero, because I noticed it just said zero on the screen, but on the meter it was saying over range. So yeah, clearly things are working fine now. Yep, one shot smoke generator, and then after they're done that, they become a empty smoke container, ready to be refilled for the next time that they need to let smoke out. It's all a matter of perspective. Audio out of sync, really? It doesn't happen very often anymore. It's all good. Yep. Alright, that's it. It's 1:30 in the morning. I've definitely got to get out of here. So thank you very much for sticking around and watching me sort out some odds and ends. It'd be nice that we got the Pedro board sorted out. I'm kind of a little bit miffed about the fact that I didn't check that resistor originally, considering that at the start we were checking all the resistors. I don't know why I didn't go up and have a look at that one. So, but we got there in the end, and that's what matters. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all next time, whether that's tomorrow or the next day. Who knows? Until then, you take care. See you later.